Most people think they'll recognize a narcissist immediately. They picture someone loud, arrogant, obviously selfish, but the most dangerous narcissists look nothing like that. They look like the most loving person you've ever met, and by the time you realize what they are, they've already taken everything. This is the complete psychology of how narcissists choose, trap, and discard their victims, and how to make sure it never happens to you again. Narcissists don't choose victims randomly, they choose targets. And the selection process is more calculated than most people realize. First, they look for empathy. Highly empathetic people are the ideal target because they will always try harder to understand, forgive, and fix a relationship. They'll blame themselves before they blame the narcissist. They'll stay longer. They'll give more. Second, they look for someone in transition. A recent breakup, a new city, a job loss, a death in the family. Transition creates vulnerability, and vulnerability creates openings. The narcissist appears at exactly the right moment, offering exactly what you need most. Third, they look for someone with a giving nature. Generous people are easier to exploit because they set fewer conditions on their generosity. They give without keeping score. And to a narcissist, someone who gives without keeping score is an unlimited resource. Fourth, they look for someone with unresolved wounds. Not always consciously, but narcissists are extraordinarily attuned to pain. They find the wound, the childhood rejection, the previous betrayal, the deep-seated fear of abandonment, and they position themselves as the person who finally understands, who finally sees you, who finally makes it safe to be vulnerable. By the time you've shared your deepest wounds with a narcissist, they have everything they need. The trap is built in 3 phases, and each one is designed to make leaving feel impossible. Phase 1 is love bombing, overwhelming attention, constant contact, intensity that feels like destiny. Your brain floods with oxytocin and dopamine, the same chemicals released in genuine deep love, except this isn't love. This is a carefully constructed illusion of love designed to create dependency before you've seen who they really are. Phase 2 is intermittent reinforcement. Once the love bombing establishes the bond, it becomes unpredictable. Some days they're the person you fell for. Other days they're cold, critical, withholding. This randomness is more addictive than consistency. Your brain becomes obsessed with getting back to the good days. You try harder, you become more compliant, more careful, more theirs. Phase 3 is isolation. Not dramatic, gradual. A comment about a friend here. A conflict manufactured with your family there. Until the people who might reflect a healthy image of you back, or who might recognize what's happening, are no longer close. And the only mirror left is the narcissists. At this point, leaving doesn't feel like freedom. It feels like losing everything, because everything has been quietly repositioned to be about them. The discard is rarely dramatic. It's usually quiet, a gradual withdrawal of warmth, a new target being cultivated while you're still present. A slow suffocation designed to make you either leave on your own so they can play the abandoned victim, or stay and watch yourself disappear. When the discard comes, it often arrives with a complete narrative reversal. Suddenly, you were always the problem, the difficult one, the unstable one. They tried everything. This narrative is constructed not for you, but for the next target, who will hear about the crazy ex and feel chosen for being different. They're not different, they're next, and the cycle without intervention will repeat identically, because this was never about you specifically. You were a role, and roles can always be recast. The most important protection against narcissistic abuse isn't learning to spot red flags early, though that matters. It's building an internal foundation that doesn't need external validation to feel stable. Narcissists target the wound. They heal the wound, and you remove the target. Practically, this means move slowly in new relationships. Let time reveal character rather than intensity. Watch how they treat people who can do nothing for them. Waiters, service workers, strangers. Watch what they do when things don't go their way. Watch whether their stories always end with them as the victim or the hero. And most importantly, notice how you feel around them. Not just in the good moments, in the quiet ones. Does your body relax or brace? Does your mind feel clearer or more confused? Does being with them make you feel more like yourself or less? Your nervous system knew the truth long before your mind was ready to hear it. Start listening to it. Here's what nobody tells you about surviving narcissistic abuse. The recovery isn't just about understanding what they did, it's about understanding why it worked and rebuilding the parts of yourself that made you vulnerable to it. Not because those parts are weaknesses. Your empathy is not a weakness. Your capacity for love is not a weakness. Your willingness to believe the best in people is not a weakness. But they need to be paired with discernment, with patience, with the understanding that love, real love, never requires you to lose yourself to keep it. You survived something that was designed to break you. That's not nothing. That's everything. Save this video, share it with someone who needs to understand what happened to them, and follow Dark Mind Files because every day we go deeper.